over. To reach Eleanor Lamb at Fontaine headquarters, we'll have to clear the way. Now, in order to melt that ice, you'll need a plasmid like a handful of hellfire. We used to sell a fine old product called Incinerate in the amusement park up yonder. Go on and find a way in. I've already been on all the rides.
Eleanor is progressing brilliantly. My physical participation in her birth was minimized, of course. It is vital that I am unhindered by nature's crude bias. I will be, above all, her intellectual progenitor, loyal not to her, but to the people she will ultimately save. But I admit, it is with some measure of pride that I review her marks in standard intelligence tests. As an agent of our beliefs, she may surpass even me.
You think it's so funny. You think I would slug you one? Why not?
You're a rare old model, son. Alpha series, I believe. Now, Rapture's full of scientific wonderments just like you. And if we can sell them to the world at my price, well, curing your condition ought to be a cakewalk. Once we find Eleanor, the sky's the limit.
I was hired to engineer a park the likes of which no man has seen. Now all I do is watch over it like a grizzled sheepdog. My first line of mechanical puppets made the children here coo with wonder. But Ryan thought my vision was immature. Antiquated, he said. This place could have been something magical. But instead, he turned it into a school. No, a cathedral. Dedicated to himself.
Jim dandy. That'll get you in the park. But buying Incinerate's gonna cost Adam. It's a sort of genetic goo that lets you rewrite whatever God gave you. The Little Sisters carry the stuff, as you may recall, so you'll need to locate one. I heard whispering near the El Dorado Lounge. Have a look.
common.
Listen up! Choppers! Get yourself clean! No fuck-ups this time! Daddy's home! Again! Fire! One leave from the light! Just try! Thank God that's over!
Hide you for long.
You wear the mark on the box! Come on! He cannot hide from his life! Oh, Father!
Welcome to Ryan Amusements. Insert your ticket now. Half price for children under 3.
I am Andrew Ryan. Welcome to Ryan Amusements. Please. Enjoy the park.
Andrew Ryan wakes one night while cruising the Atlantic in his steamliner, the Olympia. His sleep interrupted with a singular purpose. Here he shouts to his crewmen.
Busted pile of junk! You broke it! You Edna! Everything you touched!
I inherited all of it. Don't you understand?
Seems like everybody's on the go these days. Everybody but you. You still haven't experienced Ryan Industries' new spring line of plasmids. Isn't it about time you got caught up? Evolve today.
We lost another of the Alpha Series protectors today in testing. Somewhere outside the city limits, he simply vanished. For these men, Rapture has no walls. We must find a method of conditioning them against abandonment of the Little Sisters. Something physical, possibly even lethal. The lab aides are starting to call them Big Daddies. Perhaps there's some genius to that. Bonded pairs, connected by a love that kills.
You're kind and welcome here. Help! You won't listen. Prettier now.
I'm outraged!
Get started.
Salvation!
Are you? Repent! Gotta stop myself!
Used to be, there was no margin in running the gift shop. I couldn't hardly sell off this tourist crap for a penny more than the cost of manufacture. Then I met a straight shooter named Sinclair. He laid a sweet deal on me. Says he's got some hard luck folks down at Popper's Drop can whip up this junk at half the cost I used to pay. Yeah, I had to pick a needle or two out of the shipments, but all in all, nobody's the wiser, and I'm all the richer.
It's priceless! Must find shelter.
I know the surface, Eleanor. I spent half a lifetime there, in service of the common good. But then, I heard my own words twisted by fat old men squatting over the embers of Hiroshima. Were the modern world a patient in my care, I would diagnose it suicidal. On perhaps that point alone, Andrew Ryan is correct.
Has a moral
Rapture
duty to
is
increase the
deliverance.
common joy and ease the common pain.
Alone, we are nothing. Mere engines of self-interest. Together, we are the family. And through unity, we transcend the self.
Oh, bless me, Lord!
My enemy!
Until you arrive, Father, I'm trapped here. Smuggling these gifts out is the most I can do to help.
In ethical psychiatry, we must account for...
Eleanor Lamb speaking. Mum says I'm not to play with the other children because they're being raised on a diet of dog-eat-dog. I wanted to see these dog-eaters, so I waited until Mum was gone and went out to find one. And guess what? The dog-eaters wear human skins. It makes them look just like us.
Now that Big Daddy won't bite until you do. But to get to Lil Sis, you gotta put the old boy down for good.
I haven't time to say, daughter. They are all as good as new. There's only one thing that's wrong with me. Oh, the trouble with me is you. Now I just make a decision. You have a side like this. When I want to buy no matter what. Everybody like yours is good. I haven't time. It'll leave different dealers. It's all out of fear. It's natural dear cause trouble with me.
Take a breath, son. You did it. Now, just let her ride on your shoulders and she'll trust you like her own daddy.
Are we gonna be together?
We're in business. Now, there are corpses all over Rapture, and little Dimples there can sniff out the atom on them. Find one.
Hot, hot, nasty bubbles. Our angels will wait.
Making a family's natural. You gotta fight just to do nature down. I want her more than you do.
She's got a juicy one. But when she starts draining out the atom, the splicers will come running. Be ready before you set her down on that body.
Here's the angel.
Just put her right down on that corpse.
Here's the angel.
He must be.
That is a child of the family, not a toy for you to exploit and discard. It is fitting that you expire here. One more forgotten curio in Ryan's shrine to the self.
Here they come. Keep the splicers off her now till she's finished, or they'll never give up the hunt.
Oh God! I'm not.
She's helpless. I'll not be told.
She speaks through you.
You're stealing. No way.
Daddy, are you taking me home too?
Now you know the stakes, son. But a plasmid costs a bit more atom yet. Keep it up.
I told you about this one. Make him listen.
She doesn't like you. How could you? We were in the middle of something. Your house. Just come out. I hate waiting. Hey, come back. It'll be okay. Come back, please.
ungrateful parasite.
I think all of the children have finally fallen asleep. And now that the park is all quiet, I can't sleep myself. I guess it's just you and me, Mr. Voice Recorder. You, me, in 1959. I wonder what the new year will... What was that? Something's happened. The lights are going out. Kids, stay in your sleeping bags. It's gonna be fine.
Come on, exert yourself. Flatten him out!
On the surface, the farmer tills the soil, trading the strength of his arm for a whole land. But the parasites say no. What was yours is ours. We are the state. We are God. We demand our share.
Think that we were strangers a couple of nights ago? Stop following me! Sleeping, just stupid piece of garbage! Whoa! Whoa! Ah! Ah!
I've been rationing my supplies ever since the park got cut off from the rest of Rapture. Gotta stay strong. I'm holed up in this workshop, surrounded by those whaling brats, trying to beat their way in. They want my food, my guns. They want it all. But I got a plan. Gonna fix up the transport sub that's been rusting in the maintenance bay. Then I'm gonna get the hell out of this hole. These animals want Rapture? They can have it.
We found it!
I do not hate you, Delta. Indeed, I care for you in equal measure to any other sentient creature. but I cannot sacrifice 1,000 of my children for one rebellious son.
All done, Daddy. I'm telling the other girls that
All right, Chief, we've almost got enough Adam now. To get the rest, you'll have to take care of that little sister. There should be one of the air vents they favor in the workshop. Bring her down there.
Lamb is becoming a problem. The woman is a damned collectivist. Here in Rapture, how could the Council fail to see it? Worse, to hide her intent, she gulls these patients of hers into a religious frenzy. A new Kremlin will rise and swallow the Council House before they realize they've been hanged. I will not have my city swindled by the parasite. Guys, it is time, I think, to call Sinclair.
And I backed up all the blankets so they could I saw the heavens opened. I saw them open. Oh, the beauty of the revelation.
Rapture is a paradise of the ego, Eleanor. Under Ryan, the voices of an entire city sing the virtues of greed and pride. But truth, rather, is in the body. Already they grow weary of struggling against one another in fruitless competition. Observe the bent backs, the drawn faces. Ryan promised us more, they seem to say. In what shall we now believe? And Eleanor, it is our task to answer.
Must be something beyond the land and
On the surface, the scientist invests the power of his mind in a single miraculous idea and naturally begins to rise above his fellows. But the parasites say no. Discovering An artist strives to frame his ideals in an image, to challenge his audience and make his vision immortal. But the parasites say, no, your art must serve the cause. Your ideals endanger the people.
Oh, bless me, Lord! A plague upon thee!
Is someone in the hall? I've wit on my side. Unhand that child, you must! Ah!
I heard the altar sing.
Now, Tannenbaum would have you turn that sister human again. You'll get just enough Adam for our purposes, and the girls will likely try to repay you somehow. But Rapture's a high-stakes...
On the surface, your parents sought a private life, using their great talents to provide for you. They learned to twist the lies of church and government, believing themselves masters of the system. But the parasites said, no. The child has a duty. He will go to war and die for the nation.
2 weeks at my last count. 2 weeks since we were trapped in this rotten park. I haven't been eating. The children need all the supplies we've got left. Need them more than I do. I don't know what's gonna happen. I can feel myself getting weaker. The children have noticed the condition I'm in, of course. What will happen once I'm gone? They'll be all alone.
Even Daddy's toys have toys.
I met with Sinclair today of Sinclair Solutions. It's this pseudo-legal firm he set up to take problems Ryan doesn't want to admit he has and make them go away. I could fill 40 front pages of the Tribune with stories about this fella. If he wasn't paying me not to. And he's got work for me, right? I ask what? And he flashes me these $1,000 Steinman teeth saying this job will, quote, change history.
I better get gone! in the dark!
I know this facility is vital to the preservation of secrecy and rapture, but seeing myself transformed into that lurching, waxen nightmare, do children truly respond to this? Still, I spoke to a young man exiting the park after the grand opening, asking him what, if anything, he had learned. He said his chores didn't seem so bad anymore, as long as Mother wouldn't send him to the surface.
What's our curse? Breaking a family's Ryan! You gotta fight just to do nature down here!
Well, our Tin Man had a heart all along. Personally, I call that a liability, but you have enough Adam now. Barely. Head to the Hall of the Future and splice up with Incinerate.
Where'd you go? Hey! You gotta get under something! I got better things to do!
Sound the brass, roll the drum.
King of Kings! Lord!
Drat!
came I know I'll reach that New Jerusalem. This place down! No, there's nothing!
Run away! You be ridiculous! Ridiculous! Blasted!
Come back! Where'd you
It's always mine!
Got a little dating tip for you, Jimbo. It'll get you out of that lonely hearts club for good. This scheme works 100% of the time, guaranteed. First, find some Betty and take her to Ryan Amusements. Then, you go to the gift shop, buy her a teddy bear. This is key. I ain't kidding around. Then, you buy her a ticket on Journey to the Surface. As soon as you hit that first scare, bingo! Tunnel of love.
I do everything right.
I love the kids in Miss Englert's third grade class, but boy, I had no idea what I was getting into. Volunteering to chaperone this New Year's sleepover party at Ryan Amusements. Donnie, get down off that exhibit, and I told you, spit out that gum! You'll choke!
So, you would drain the people of their life's blood. Rapture is a body, Delta. I am the voice, and Big Sister is the hand. When Rapture
Light up enemies to 1,000 degrees. Warning, fire spread.
speaks of you, it says only this. Sleep now. Your day is done.
What would impress her more than lighting a fireplace with a snap of your fingers? Oh, a party. But this party just hit the skids. Carl needs a light for his cigar, and no one can help him.
In the garden we are growing, many changes will be flowing. If you wanna be amazing, see the flowers we are raising.
Rosa, son. Not even a big sister can keep you down. Well, come on back and melt the ice and we can say goodbye to this 2-bit carny ride.
I just tell her, baby, I want a child and a discussion. Just like that.
Ryan saw the individual as a hero, a noble survivor. And Rapture was his paradise, a shrine to the supremacy of the self. The result? Slavery, genocide, chaos. Now that the tyrant is dead, we are a true collective, a single family.
Outstanding, sport. You're proving to be quite a windfall. Now just open the train tunnel from the security booth there, and I'll come out and jump on. I like to look a man in the eye when I give him my word. You and me, kid. We're going places.
I had thought you some golem of Sinclair's, brought here to hold Rapture's arms while he rifles through her pockets. But no, you are aware of your plight. Who, I wonder, would be so cruel to force a mirror on a man with no face?
Lamb was waiting for us. Come out shooting and start the train.
How dare you! I was
Everyone, I hope you had fun.
Oh, you got special problems, huh? 666. I'm trying my best.
Andrew Ryan. He reckoned the free market was some kind of Holy Spirit gonna lead us all over the rainbow. And I reckon it's a big fat hooker too dim to spot a wooden nickel. So old Andy went and became his own ghost and I whittled nickels till I made a mint.